I don't give a damn if you're healthy or not. You got to make the best of your situation. And you know what the coolest thing is? If you don't like where you are in life, you have the ability to change. Speaking of change, you know what I need to change? I really need to get better with my time management. And I've always struggled with this because I always saw it as like a prison sentence. Like, I don't want to be that locked in. Like I have a girl that I grew up with, and she got married long before I did. Hi Karen, she was out on her own. In fact, she ended up when I got a divorce, she went with a husband. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't know why I got so lost in that train of thought. But I had asked her one year, "Hey, I know you're super organized, and I know you've got a good recipe. Will you send me your recipe for your Thanksgiving?" So I knew she could pull it up in an instant. Well, she did, and she sent it to me. And I remember getting it, and my first thought was, "Oh my God, I couldn't live like that." But it works for her. It's not a slam at all. My issues with her have nothing to do with her time management, but this her Thanksgiving turkey recipe actually it was part of her main document, and it was 9 o'clock, do this, 9:15, do that, 9:30, do this, 9:45, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're just cooking a damn turkey. But that's what works for her. And she's really good with her time. I am not. So maybe I shouldn't see it as such a negative thing. And you know what? It's not a negative thing. It's not about being uptight. Time management it's about knowing and honoring your priorities and the things that really matter to you. So let's talk about 10 benefits of time management, because again, this is something I really struggle with. This information is from, I love this name, timemanagementninja.com, and I have no idea why in the hell I have such a Midwestern accent. I blame it on the Canadians. Anyway, if you learn how to manage your time, guess what? You're going to have a lot less stress and anxiety. There's going to be fewer surprises, fewer tight deadlines, and less rushing. Yeah, I'm kind of the queen of, oh crap, I have a deadline. I better finally get to it. I've had a deadline for 2 weeks and it's due tomorrow. I better get to it. That is stressful. It does cause anxiety. And people always say, well, I work well under pressure. You say that because you don't leave yourself any other options. And you know what? You might work well under pressure, but why don't you use that to your advantage and get a job that's maybe a high paying, high pressure job, instead of just creating pressure for yourself where there doesn't need to be any. Number two, learning how to manage your time is going to increase your productivity. A packing list. I used to have a packing list. I had a disabled dog for many years, and I bless his little heart. The poor dog, he was a very happy dog. That the vet knew as soon as that was my thing. If Gus isn't happy, I need to let him go. But the vet was always like, that dog has more heart and more spirit than people. And he really was genuinely happy. But packing to go on a trip with Gus was a process. So I made a big master list, and I had Gus's medicine and I had my medicine and just everything that I needed to take. And yeah, it took some time on the front end to make up that list. But oh my gosh, it made it so much easier when we would get ready to pack the motorhome and go somewhere, because I had my list. All I had to do was check everything off my list, and I knew I had everything in the camper. I wasn't going to get down the road and go, "Oh my gosh, I forgot my toothbrush," or "I forgot Gus's medicine." That was always the worst, cuz it's not like I can just pick it up somewhere. A to-do list is I threw that story in there at the wrong time, but a to-do list helps you get everything squared away. Um yeah, I need a to-do list. I've done a few apps. I don't like apps. My problem with to-do lists that I write down is it ends up I'm a sticky note girl. My computer right now is sitting inside a little cabinet. I can completely close this and it just looks like a little cabinet. But the doors are completely covered in sticky notes, and a lot of them are to-do lists. Well, it's not very organized, and to be honest, I get so used to seeing the little tags up on the thing that I sometimes forget about them. I've tried a few things on my phone, but I don't like it. So I'm going to have to just get a notebook that sits in here at my desk, and I'm just going to have to write down what I need to get done in the day. Number three, if you manage your time, guess what? You're going to spend a lot less time redoing stuff. When you wait till the last second and you're rushing. You've probably lost the instructions by now. You've forgotten some of the details. You're rushing because you have that deadline looming. So you're prone to make a lot more mistakes. Well, why not just give yourself the extra time and only have to do the job once? Number 4, learning how to manage your time is going to give you less life friction, because when you're not managing your time, you are creating your own problems. You're creating your own stress. If you plan your day, you're going to avoid a lot of unnecessary stress. Number 5, learning how to manage your time is actually going to give you more free time. You're not going to waste your time chasing your tail, wondering if you've got the disabled dog's medication packed. Before I made my packing list, I would seriously just drive myself crazy back and forth in the house. Do I have this? Yes. Do I have that? Yes. It was so much better once I had a list. I had more free time. I wasn't chasing my tail. Number 6, if you learn how to manage your time, you're going to have less wasted time. Look, time is finite. And none of us know how long we've got. You need to know what it is you need to do. You need a list. Damn it, I've tried really hard to resist, but you need a list. Look, I'm really fortunate. I know a lot of very successful people. They're all self-made. None of them were handed much of anything. They all do this. They all manage their time. They all keep to-do lists. It's important. Our time is finite. You don't want to waste your time, even with something as simple as keys. Now, you're probably thinking, how is that time management? Easy. If your keys go in the exact same place every single night, then in the morning, you're not running around the house frantic trying to figure out where the hell your keys are, because you took the time in advance to designate a home for them. I have a key rack. If my keys are not on my key rack, I'm completely screwed. I have no clue where I put them, which, by the way, plug for tile. If you lose your keys a lot or lose your wallet a lot, you should get a thing called a tile. It's a little, I don't have one with me, but it's a little tag. They can go on your keychain. You can slip them into your wallet really easily. They're really thin. And then you can ping your keys from your phone, which is a really nice thing to have. Anyway, number 7, if you learn how to manage your time, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get increased opportunities. Luck favors the prepared. When you're on top of things, when you're on top of your time and your work gets done, it's going to open more opportunities for you. But why? Because the people around you are going to understand that you're reliable and that you take your responsibilities very seriously. Number 8, it improves your reputation. People need to know that they can rely on you, especially in the workplace. I know we all have one or two coworkers where if you have to do something with them, it's like, oh crap, because you're going to carry the bulk of the load. Which one of those people do you want to be, though? Do you want to be the one that everybody dreads working with? Or do you want to be the one, hey, Courtney's really on top of things. I want her on my committee. I'm a committee girl. I really am. Freaking love being on committees. I learned so much stuff. I'm the youngest child. I'm nosy as hell. Being on committees at work, I have learned so much about how the organization runs that I never would have learned any other way. But that kind of thing, that has improved my reputation. I am very careful to be on time with my assignments for my committees, because it does make it is my reputation on the line. Number 9, it's less effort. You know what else I have a packing list for? When I travel out of state. Yes, it took time to sit down and it took a lot of time. It wasn't a one and done. It's like I'd go back, oh wait, I need to put this on there. But I have a packing list. It saves so much stress. And I don't know how, I really don't understand people who can pack like 4 days in advance. Well, for one, excuse me, I'm a woman. I'm a very feminine woman. My makeup, my skincare, my hair care, none of that can get packed until right before I leave. Having that list, it makes a tremendous difference. It just takes so much pressure off of me. And yes, it's a lot less effort. I won't tell you how many times I have unpacked and repacked a suitcase looking for stuff. And you know what? I have completely destroyed a suitcase and have it look like I've lived in it for a week before I've ever even left town because I didn't have a list before. And I would throw everything out looking for that one thing that I just had to have. Yes, it took time on the front end to make it, but gosh, it saves me so much time and stress in the long run. And finally, number 10, if you learn how to manage your time, it's going to give you a lot more time for what matters to you. You're going to, when you learn how to manage your time, it's simply putting your focus on things that are important. Instead, you guys know it's so easy to jump on online. I'm just going to look at Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever your social media platform is. I'm just going to look for a second. And next thing you know, way too much time has gone by and there you are. I can do that with, and I'm sure anybody who games, I can do that with, I'm not a huge gamer, but I can do that with a video game easily. You got to learn how to manage your time. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with playing games. There's nothing wrong with scrolling. As long as you just set a time limit so that you're not wasting hours and hours of your life doing nothing, because none of that shit matters. You know, it's not gonna propel you forward. It's not gonna bring any positive change into your life. There's nothing wrong with any of that kind of stuff, but you got to keep it under control. You got to, I can't remember who I heard say this, but I thought it was really, I want to say profound, but I thought it was a really good way to look at it. You either manage your time or your time is going to manage you. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting really freaking tired. You know, here I started thinking about this because I'm very frustrated with myself because I have not been managing my time properly. And that means I'm not doing the things that I need to do to keep me healthier and happier. I couldn't tell you the last time I journaled, to be real honest. My meditation habit, it's evaporated. I know those things are good for me. I know I need to do them. You know what else I let slide? I let a lot of my Bible time slide. I let a lot of my time with God slide. I've been doing a group on Monday nights, and it's an hour and a half. And I can't believe I was like, oh, I am good with the God thing. I get an hour and a half every Monday. But it's not like I'm filling the time that I was spending with God with anything productive that's moving me forward. I'm spending it scrolling social media. I'm spending it playing games. None of those are going to get me where I want to go in life. Spending time with God is important to me. And today, when I went to get my fancy hair, I actually took, I have a book called, I don't have it in here, obviously. I have a book called Draw the Circle, and it's a 40-day prayer challenge. And I started reading it, I think it was in December. But I was almost done. I was on day 32. And this was in early January. And all of a sudden, I don't know why, I just quit. I just stopped. And the book's been staring at me all this time. So finally today when I went, I knew I was going to be sitting there at the hair salon. And I'm like, instead of just scrolling or instead of playing a silly game, I'm going to read. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling. And it felt so good to get back to that. So yeah, I need to get better at managing my time. I've got to get back to meditating, and I've got to get back to journaling regularly. And I certainly need to get back to my time with God. Although I will tell you one thing that I did not let slip, that I never let slip. I stay on top of my fitness. So that's always my anchor. That's my go-to of no matter how chaotic I might let the rest of my life get, I always exercise. And if I cook at home, I cook really healthy. But I do like to eat out a lot. When I go out, all bets are off. But I got to thinking about all this stuff because I've got to get my stress under control. I have noticed I'm getting a little rambly here, sorry, but I was doing intermittent fasting for a little over a month, and I was like, hell yeah, I lost 10 pounds. It'd been ages since I'd been able to lose any weight. I had lost 50 pounds, and then everything went to hell with my dad got really sick and almost died twice, and then COVID struck, and then my mom's health went very, very south, and then she passed, and it's just the last couple of years, they've been hard for most people. We lost my mom coming up on a year ago. It's been difficult, and it's been really hard to lose weight. So I had lost 50 pounds, I gained 20 of it back, and I've had a hell of a time getting rid of that 20. Well, I was doing intermittent fasting, and I was like, hell yeah, I lost 10 pounds, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, why is my anxiety so out of control? I've been listening to a book called The Medical Medium that someone had recommended to me, and she's talking directly about adrenal issues. And she's like, do not do intermittent fast. She didn't say specifically intermittent fasting, but she said, I don't remember exactly how she worded it, but essentially, people are trying to fast. If you have adrenal problems, don't do that to yourself. And I can't do keto either because that's also stressful on the body. Look, good stress, it's still stress. I still had to keep my workouts dialed back. Those of you who have followed me for a while know I had to give up. I used to be really into high intensity um, cardio kickboxing with a lot of dance elements thrown in. It was a kick in the pants. I loved it. No pun intended. But I loved it. I was really passionate about it. And then when I found out my hormone system was kaput, not entirely, obviously I'm still here, but it's in pretty rough shape. Um, First thing they said, well, you have to give that up. I said, what the hell am I supposed to do? But you need to lower your stress. I'm like, you just took my stress outlet away. So I'm very conscious of my physical activity being enough, but not too much, if that makes any sense. But my stress is just out of control because I'm not doing, hi, Libby, I'm not doing all the things I need to do. Sorry, but Libby wanted to say, well, she didn't really want to say hi, but she came in here, so she gets to. Isn't she the cutest? I need to get better at managing my time because I need to work with her. She's a really good little dog. When I do go to the office, she's been officially sanctioned to come with me, and she's usually a really good dog. But she's got a few little things that I need to work out with her, and I gotta manage my time so I have time to train with my dog. And I definitely need to train with my poor Ruger dog, who obviously is not in here. But I am completely rambling, and I'm probably completely off the topic. So I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. You have any questions? I'm certainly not an expert on time management, but I've tried a lot of apps that have been highly recommended. So I'd be happy to tell you what they are because it might work for you. That's why there's so many apps out there. That's why there's so many different methods of this stuff out there. Look at diets. There's so many different diets out there because we're all different people. And what works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. But I would be happy to still share with you some of the information I've learned. Best place to reach me, only place to reach me is on Twitter at Alaskan Courtney. I try to be very responsive, and I will be back Wednesday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. And damn it, I knew what I was going to talk about, and I just forgot when I said that.